Yes boys, and welcome back to another video on my channel, and today's video is going to be my Euro 2020 predictions. The time this goes out, the tournament will be on the day. Does that make sense? So the video will be out on a Friday and the tournament will be kick-starting. I'm buzzing, like I can't even lie. I'm absolutely buzzing for this. Not like a couple weeks ago I wasn't really like buzzing, but now that it's actually here, like it's proper football and international football. And there is one thing to point out: in some ways you could laugh at me, but the Euros is better than the World Cup, because the caliber of teams is on like so much better, if that makes sense. Like in the World Cup you have teams like Panama, like Saudi Arabia, all them crap teams, right? But in the Euros you always have like every team who's there are like decent teams. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's not really a bad team in the Euros. I've just got my old-fashioned wall chart, you know what I mean? Like, I think these are brilliant. Like, you can have all the websites in the world, but you can't beat a little wall chart, can you? And that will be going up. And yeah, that's going to help me with my predictions later on in this video. But yeah, like I was referring to, like, there's not many bad teams. Like, is there a bad team? North Macedonia, but they did really well to qualify, and like they have decent players, like Alioski, for example, Pandev, like these are decent players. But yeah, like Austria, like Wales, you know what I mean? Like they're probably the weaker teams, Scotland, but like they're still decent teams. Like they all have their best players. Like Gareth Bale plays for Wales, for example. Like there's not really a weak team. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And usually you do get a lot of underdog stories, but it's whether we can predict those. But yeah, let's get into the video. I'm going to talk all things predictions, my like winners for the golden boot, like young player, things like that, England, and I'll talk about my fantasy football at the end. So yeah, make sure you drop a like and let's get into this video. So first of all, I just want to say a massive thanks for all the support in the domestic season, and now the Euros is here. Let's keep smashing the support, guys. Thank you for all the subs. Like, I'm so grateful for 130. I know in reality it's not a lot, but I don't do it for that. I do it because I just enjoy making this kind of content. And yeah, plenty more coming with regarding the Euros. But yeah, let's get into my predictions. So first up, let's talk all things England, right? I'm going to kickstart with England. Like, this is the interesting part, right? So basically, for me, I'm not optimistic, but we got to believe. You got to believe it's coming home this summer, man. It's hyped. It's there. The hype's there, but will England deliver on the big stage? I'm not too sure. That's the problem. We've failed so many times. Like 2004, we were massive favourites to win that tournament, and we just flopped completely. Yeah, and obviously Greece went on to win that, and that's what I was referring to. My underdog stories, they do happen a lot in the Euros, and yeah, like other major tournaments, like the World Cup. Yeah, we were 1-0 up and we threw it away. The Euros against Iceland, like all these crap results, but will it be this team to take us? And getting the team selection right is critical to England's chances of booking their places into the latter stages of the tournament. I think we will take care of the group. Like, let's be real, Croatia, Scotland, and Czech Republic, we should beat all of them. Let's be real. Croatia will probably be the hardest test in my opinion, just because they do have world-class players like Kovacic, Modric, like their midfield's outrageous, like Perisic. Yeah, but Scotland, we've got to beat Scotland. Like, if we lose to Scotland, that's a travesty. And Czech Republic, that should be comfortable. But especially as England are playing all their games at Wembley, that's a massive advantage. And yeah, hopefully we can take care of the business and make sure we get through. But I don't really know of England's chances, if I'm honest with you. I think it's just like I just said, like, you got to be optimistic, and you got to believe it's coming home. But just, I don't think I am. I just don't think they're going to deliver. Like, for me, everyone knows that I believe that the right manager, you don't have to have the best players. England have the good players, but I don't think they've got the right manager. I hope in like 2 months' time, I'm looking back and thinking, you clown. But I just don't see it, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I'll get onto the side that I would start for the opening game against Croatia. Let's do that. So in goal, I'm going to go Jordan Pickford. Right back, Reece James. I'm going to go with three. Oh, I don't know because no Maguire. I don't think Maguire's going to be fit. But so you might call me deluded, but I might have Reece James or Kyle Walker. One of them as a centre back and one of them as a right back, next to John Stones and Luke Shaw, probably just at left back. Midfield of Declan Rice, Mason Mount and Phil Foden. And then up in the top, we'll have Grealish, Sancho and Harry Kane. I think a lot of people on that same level, like, they believe that's England's best 11. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm not optimistic at all. But let's hope they prove me wrong. But anyway, let's get into my Euro predictions of who I think is going to win it. Okay, so to start with, on my predictions, I'm going to go through the teams that I think are going to get through the group. So I'm going to quick fire this. I'll talk a little bit, but in Group A, I've got it here, like I said. I'm going to go with Italy and Turkey. I just think Italy, yeah, they should win the group in my opinion. Turkey, a lot of people have them for dark horses, but I'll get into that later on in this video. In Group B, I'm going with Belgium and Denmark. Just don't think Russia and Finland are good enough. Russia were, well, they were good in their World Cup, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think Denmark are really ones to look out for, and they will feature in my dark horses selection. And yeah, Belgium, I think they're going to go quite far, just because they have proper talent, and I believe that Martinez has got them playing decent football. Like, I believe they won every game in the qualifying stage. I know it's not that hard, but like, that's a statement. And yeah, they've got to do it on the big stage because they keep flopping. Group C, I think it's between Ukraine and Austria for that second position. Just, I think, honestly, I don't think you can write off North Macedonia. If I'm honest with you, they could easily qualify. And I do genuinely believe that Holland will flop at this Euros. They have a decent team, but I don't know, there's something about them that I know they leak a lot of goals, and that's going to not play into their hands as it goes on, as the tournament progresses. Yeah, but for me, I'm going to go Holland and Austria just. I think Ukraine are a decent side, obviously, with Andrei Shevchenko as their manager. And yeah, they did well to qualify, but no, I'm going to go Holland and Austria. England's group, I'm going to go England and Croatia. Scotland, you never know. It's between Scotland and Croatia for me. I don't think Czech Republic are good enough, and without, well, their only real couple of players are Souček and Coufal. Like, really, like, who've had decent runs in their side. But yeah, them two. But yeah, Scotland or Croatia. I'm just going to go Croatia. Obviously, England come first, in my opinion. Group E, Spain, I think will get through. But they're another team that, will they do well? I'm not 100%. Like, that's where it's interesting. Because, like, I believe that Spain and Netherlands and Italy are the three to look out for. I believe one of them will do well, but the other two will flop. And I'll get into the flops later on, like I said. But yeah, I'm going to go Spain top, and I'm going to go Poland second, just because of Robert Lewandowski. And then Group F, the group of death. This is interesting now. One of these teams will get the best third place, in my opinion. But Hungary, they're going to come bottom. I don't give them any hope. I'm sorry, Hungary. But yeah, top, I'm going to go France. And then second, I'm going to go Germany. And third, I'm going to go Portugal. A lot of people have tipped Portugal, but I actually really fancy the Germans at this Euro. Sorry, I think they're going to do decent. And yeah, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner with that link up, you know. But yeah, that's my group teams getting out of the group. I don't really know the logistics, like, because I know a lot of teams finish third or whatever, and like they can still get through, but it's going to be tough to call. I don't think anyone can sit there and think, oh, they're 100% through. Like, there's a few, maybe like Belgium, I reckon they're definitely through. I'd like to say England, but you just don't know with England, do you? What happens if we do go out at the group stage? That'd be an absolute travesty, but it can happen because it's the Euros. But yeah, I'm going to get into my predictions for like the single events. Do you know what I mean? Like the Golden Boot, things like that. Let's get into that. And then at the end, I will do the winners of the Euros. So yeah. So the first prediction I'm going to cover is the flops of the tournament. So I referred to this when I was picking my teams that are going to advance through. And yeah, the teams I'm looking at are Holland, I think might flop, Spain might flop, and Portugal. They're the three that I believe might flop. And the reasons why. So let's talk about Spain. I think without Sergio Ramos at the back, they're going to struggle to defend and hold off the best teams. Lack of goals up front, really, overall. They've got good players in between the lines, but they're just nowhere near as good as they were. And that Spain peaked at 2010. Unbelievable team. If you were lucky enough to witness that team, that was an unreal team. And they were probably the best international team ever, in my opinion, that I've seen. Yeah, but... So Spain, I don't know, I'm not confident that they're going to do anything. And the other, Holland, I think they might be a little bit overrated with their team. I think they got a crap manager in De Boer. He got sacked from Palace 3 months in. And I believe they leak so many goals. They leak goals every game. And I just don't think that's going to be nowhere near good enough to be able to book their places in the latter stages of the competition. And there could be an upset in that group. I'll tell you, what group is it? Group C. That could be a shock group. That could easily see Austria and Ukraine go through. Yeah. And the other team I was looking at is Portugal. I think they're in a tough group, but I think they're going to finish third in that group. I genuinely do. I just don't know. Like, obviously they won the last Euros. Unbelievable. Like, they were a massive dark horse against France, who are home nations. They were unbelievable. That team they have and the team they still have is crazy. But yeah, regarding Portugal, I don't know. I think Cristiano's going to flop at this tournament. Like, he hasn't really shown up in the last couple of tournaments. Like, I don't know. There's something about that Portuguese side that makes me think like, they're not going to do something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I'm chatting rubbish, that I probably am. But like, there's something missing about that Portuguese side, but I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, I just fancy Portugal to flop. That's me being honest. And yeah, let's move on to the next award or prediction. Okay, so next up on the prediction list, I'm going to go with the best under-23 player. And there was a few choices here when I was looking at the stats, the figures, all of that. The one that stands out for me, Mason Mount. He's going to be my under-23 player. I'm going to back my boy Mason Mount. He's going to step up for England on the big stage. He's done it for club, and now he's going to do it for country. Imagine winning the Champions League and the Euros in the same calendar year. That would be outrageous. But yeah, I think I'm going to back Mason Mount, under-23 player of the tournament. Alright, so the next one I'm going to look at is best player. And for me, there's going to be a lot of players that are going to shine. You always get a few that you've never heard of that just absolutely show like what they're made of. Like, we've seen instances like, I know a lot of people have been talking about on Twitter, like Xavi in 2008. I've seen the clips of that and like things like that. You get players just out of nowhere that just show up, and I think there could be a few like that. I don't know who, but I reckon we will get players like that. Yeah, but for me, player of the tournament's going to be Kylian Mbappe. Honestly, this guy, what he can do with a football is incredible. His pace, I don't need to talk about him. Everyone knows Kylian Mbappe, how good he is, and I think he's just going to shine. I do believe N'Golo Kante will be raved about a lot. If France do go on to win, no doubt, Kante will play a massive part in their midfield next to Pogba. But yeah, I'm going to go Kylian Mbappe. But N'Golo Kante will be up there, in my opinion, for player of the tournament. Alright, so regarding Dark Horse, that is the next prediction I'm going to make. And yeah, it was a tough one because like I feel like a a lot of people fancy Turkey for their dark horse, but now that everyone's talking about Turkey, I think they might just like be overrated a little bit. Like, I think they might do well, don't get me wrong, and they will come second in their group, but like people are talking about them like winning it, and I just think no, they're not going to win it surely. But like I said right at the beginning of this video, that anything can happen in the Euros. Like, a lot of small teams can produce the goods, and yeah, but I'm going to go dark horses as Denmark. I fancy Denmark. For some reason, I think they're in a decent group. I believe they're going to come second behind Belgium, but they could easily win that group. They could beat Belgium. Like, they've got a really good spine of their team, and yeah, they've done well. They do well against England. I know that like a couple of draws against England and all that. So yeah, I'm going to go Denmark as my underdogs or dark horses. Alright, so now for the runners-up and winners of the Euros. I haven't done this prediction yet. It could all plan out differently, but I believe that the final is going to not be England. I just can't see England being in it, but I'm going to go France and Germany. Said it there, France-Germany final, and Timo Werner to miss an open goal. France to go up the other end and win the game. And yeah, France to win for me. I know that's a really boring prediction, but they are favourites, and they're so favourites for a reason. They're by far the most superior European side. Their strength in depth is just unmatched. And like I said, Kylian Mbappe for player of the tournament, and N'Golo Kante, like, I could go, the list goes on. Griezmann always steps up for France. Like, they have so much quality, and I just think they're going to be too strong. So runners up, I'm going Germany, and the winners will be France, in my opinion. Said it there, straightforward. I hope I'm wrong and England show what they're made of, but no, I don't see it. France to win it for me, and yeah, bit boring. But if I was to pick a team outside the favourites who are going to go on and win it, I would go with Italy. I don't think they are like top favourites, but I think they've got their defensive record under Mancini is unmatched, and like they do score goals. So maybe Italy as like an one. I don't know. Would you class them as an outsider? I'm not too sure, but they are not one of the favourites. Let's be real. Like, the favourites are France, Portugal, England, and Belgium. They're the four that everyone's backing to win. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Italy as as a surprise maybe, but no, France for me. Boring prediction from me, but yeah, that's just my opinion, you know. Alright, so I've made all my Euros predictions, and I'm going to wrap this video up by talking about my Euro fantasy. Yeah, I've made a league like I did for the Premier League. If you go and watch my Premier League one, I reviewed your guys' squad, but I ain't got time for that nowadays, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll put my fantasy team up now. Here it is. That's my fantasy team. I've taken a big interest in this. I really like fantasy football, and yeah, I've gone proper try-hard mode because I want to win the league like I did for the Premier League. So yeah, if you want to join my league and get involved, free to enter, all good fun, all brilliant. The code's here. I'll add it in now, if you know what I mean, and then you can screenshot it or whatever. It'll be in the link in the description as well. You can join, all good fun. Hope to see you guys there participating. Yeah, I'm going to go for it, try and win, of course, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? But yeah, the Euros fantasy for me is you can pick the obvious players, but it's the players who will shine that you don't expect, and if you have them players, then you're going to win, because it will be a tight, it will be tight. Like the Premier League one, obviously it's 38 games, so that's a lot of games, but obviously Euros isn't as many. Well, it's nowhere near as many, is it? But you know what I mean? So the points will be obviously lower, and it'll be tighter, less pool of players, which ultimately leads to people having the same players, really, don't it? So we'll see what happens, but I'm going for the victory. Yeah. And yeah, you're welcome to join, of course, and all good fun. So yeah, get involved. If you think you can beat me and want to challenge me, then join the code. Obviously I put it on the screen before, and yeah, it'll be in the description. Alright, so that's been my Euro predictions. Euro 2020 starts today. When this video comes out, buzzing, let's do it. Come on, you England, will we do it? I'm not too sure. I'm not optimistic, but you've got to believe it's coming home. I'm not sure what other Euro videos I'm going to do. I'll probably do like my thoughts and feelings after the England game on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments where you're watching the England game, and yeah, also let me know your predictions for the Euros. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Up the England, it's coming home, come on.